Hello and welcome to the MegaMonsterCast, where today we are talking about episode 8 of Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm keeping it in. I am Nick. With me is Alex and Josh.
Hi.
Hello there.
This episode is the introduction of another core cast member, Asuka Langley
Alex's
Soryu.
favorite.
Definitely not my favorite.
No, we discussed this last episode. It's your favorite.
Mm-hmm. This is also Keisuke's arguably favorite episode that he gets to be a part of, considering it's just a military nerd getting to look at fucking fighter jets and shit.
Yeah, he has a grand old time.
Oh yeah, no, he's losing his mind the entire time. He's got a camera. He's recording everything. The Japanese government is gonna put him in jail.
He becomes such a good audience surrogate later when he's just like, "Look at all the money getting destroyed.
Yeah.
This is so wasteful." It's like, yep, you're right.
That happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this episode, our cast thus far are flown out to a carrier where they are introduced to another Evangelion pilot, and we get to see a new Ava.
What Ava could it be?
Yeah. So we get introduced to the red Ava, Ava Unit 2.
Eldos.
What do you guys think about the design for this one?
I love this one.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's actually my favorite.
I like it. I think I prefer the rebuild version of it just because it has a little more white and it has the little horns, and I think that makes it look a little more interesting. But the original version's still fine.
Ava 2 is still best.
In this show, yeah. There's one in the rebuild movies I think I like more.
I think I know which one. I think I know which one.
It's the one at the end of the second movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I like that one more. I think that one might be my favorite design overall, but 2's a really solid design. Anyway, so you get introduced to the second child, Asuka Langley Soryu, and we get a scene where Toji looks up her skirt.
And then
Japan.
Then reciprocates apparently.
Yeah. This is a problematic as fuck episode. Like all of them are. I'm looking at that scene right now.
In y'all's, do they refer to them as like the first child, the second child, or do they call them the first children, second children?
Child, I want to say.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but yeah, they do. It was weird because I was like, are they using children plural or children singular? And they're using children singular in this dub.
Oh.
Like they refer to hey first, they go hey second children, and she's talking to one person.
Oh.
And they only refer to each other as children, not child.
Huh.
It's very odd.
That's a weird.
It's very odd on the ears to hear children being used singularly.
Yeah, that's a weird choice. That's not how it's
a real
done.
singular point.
Awful. No, that's that's not how it's done in the original dub. It's child. That's a weird. I mean, maybe that's closer to the original, to like a straight translation.
I don't know. The choices they've made for this dub and its subsequent sub are maddening to me.
I could see that. It's
like literally in, I think it's, if not this episode, it's the next episode, and I'm going to miss it as I have it on. I don't have the that moment in my head, but They literally flip the meaning of an entire sentence from yes to no. So like she's saying yes with her mouth and the subtitle says no.
Yeah.
What? I mean, that's just like they're just telling different stories. The subtitle track is just at times just doing its own thing. It's kind of crazy. Like the overall meaning of like the sentence and its context being flipped from yes to no doesn't change the meaning of the conversation, but it is a direct flip from yes to no.
Hmm. Yeah. I know you're not the only person I know whose first experience with this show is the Netflix dub, and I do think that's probably detrimental to the experience.
I think I would agree.
Like I appreciate that people are getting like exposure to the show, but the original dub, while not like a masterpiece, I'm never gonna say it is because there's some like pretty bad acting in it.
Like I feel
Um,
like I'll probably become attached to these voice actors though as these
No, you
characters.
won't.
So hearing other dubs will probably be a jarring experience in its own.
yeah. I know that the rebuild movies use largely the original dub cast.
Yeah, I think I would like to see this again with the other version
Hmm.
because this just doesn't feel very cohesive. The production doesn't
Hmm.
feel very cohesive.
Yeah, I could see that because I've watched a couple of episodes of the new dub and I did not like it.
And as someone who reads subs, it is maddening, man.
Hmm.
Like cannot believe that this passed production.
Although I that was a problem that happened for a while with anime in general, where like I have DVDs where the subs and dubs don't match because the subs are a direct translation and the dubs are an adapted translation.
Sure.
So that's not, it wouldn't bother me that much just because
I
like
mean,
I'm used to that.
yeah, it's a difference in localization.
Hmm. But the fact that
But
there's like a large amount of changes to it sounds like it would
they're
be
largely
annoying.
not even like using the same words. Like it gets really bizarre at times. Like how like it's almost it feels almost like at certain points they purposefully went in with the idea of I want you to take this sentence and say this exact sentence with none of these words. You can use zero of these words, but give me the same sentence back.
And I'm wondering if
Be-
that's like a choice based on they want like because this is the second dub and Netflix is basically using this so they have control over the show. If that was an intentional choice to try to differentiate it as much as possible so they had more control.
I'd love to know. It is such a weird choice.
Hmm. Anyway, though, yeah, so we get like a little introduction to the people on like the crew of the ship who none of them have full faces, so you know they don't really
I
matter.
I love
Yeah.
these guys.
I like them
There's
too, but like they don't have real
I
faces.
no the captain like every now and again you see his eye poke out and he's
Yeah.
like I think he's like a really good foil to the group. He's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, no, he's great, and
Like
it's a shame.
unintentionally, I think, but
It's a shame that he doesn't have a full character design, so he'll never be in another episode. But like that's another thing that they do, especially with like older anime, where if a character's not gonna be around a whole lot, they purposefully leave like elements of their face out to save money, because then they don't have to do a full character design.
yeah.
And you can see that with like everyone on this ship, like none of them have eyes really, and some of
Many
them,
of them wearing glasses and things.
yep, it's just a way to like cut costs on having to animate specific features. Like, oh, now we don't have to have their eyes emote because they don't have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also get introduced to Saji. he's not the most problematic character in this show, but he's up there.
He's also irritating.
He is. He's a huge womanizer, and that is his biggest character trait. And he and Misato have a thing, and it's not
And some
healthy.
history. Oh.
They're crazy matches, and like there's a reason why they've been together, and a reason why, spoiler, they get back together. But it's not good
What?
for her, and while it's good for him, it's not good for him in a good way.
He's a crazy manipulator, man.
Oh yeah, no, like he gets what he wants out of the relationship, and she gets some of what she wants out of the relationship. But they're both not good for each other. But yeah, that's nature of their relationship. We'll get more of that over time too.
Yeah, we'll get a lot of it actually.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, it's a big part of the show.
I hate people like him so much.
Oh yeah, no, he's a huge womanizer. Also, it's very obvious that Asuka has a huge crush on him too.
Oh, yeah, she does.
There's no subtlety there whatsoever,
Mhm.
man.
Yep. I'm watching the Netflix subtitles this time, and I can see like the third children, and it's like
Yeah.
that's a weird choice.
But they actually that's in the spoken
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know, but
aspect
like
as well.
yeah, I know, but like I watched the original dub going into this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a weird choice.
It hit my ears wrong, really wrong, like the first 3 or 4 times they did it.
It's like when
I'm
she's
like-
standing on the top of the escalators. Third children, come
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Look at
is
my
it plural?
robot.
Yep. Although I
Oh
do
my
love,
God, it's
I
red.
I kind of love the way that she's trying to show off to him, like she acts like she doesn't care. Well, she tries to act like she doesn't care about these people, but she's clearly working so hard to try to impress them, especially
Yeah.
Shinji.
That is some archetypical shit right there.
Mhm.
Well, again, you get more about that, but like it also screams, I am incredibly insecure. You need to think I'm awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think
Boy,
I'm
does
awesome.
the
You do need
insecurities
to.
with her come out a lot in this show.
I mean, like all of them are super insecure.
One might say that's like her one character development.
The moment that she's not just an obscene brat will be a breath of fresh air for me.
Yeah.
No, it won't.
Hate you so much right
No,
now.
it won't.
Also, I can't wait to talk about the next episode because there's something that I heard someone say about this show, and specifically about her and Shinji. And the second they said it, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Well, you won't have to wait long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then we get our angel attack.
Yeah.
This angel is kind of cool. It's not. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's not a bad design. This angel in almost every other version of the story gets cut.
Mm-hmm.
Just entirely?
Or cut down to like a quick flashback where she fights it on her own.
Oh.
Yeah, like
I don't
this
know
is
how I feel about them just giving her a glory kill off screen.
well it'll be like a flashback where it'll be footage of it that they see and then she gets brought in. Like this episode and the last episode are usually left on the cutting room floor of most adaptations. Much to, I think, the detriment. Like, I think it's this episode maybe, but last episode, despite the fact that it's not like most of the episode's plot isn't like super pivotally important, I think it helps with that one little scene, having it buried in an episode that doesn't seem important. Anyway, Shinji accidentally sneaks a peek.
Accidentally, my ass.
Yep. And then he has to wear her backup plug suit, which, oh boy, that causes
Gives
a
them
problem later.
boobs.
Yep. I'm sure his friends won't make fun of him at all for that later.
Oh no.
Or in the next episode.
Yep. Yeah, so
That doesn't sound like them at all.
no, of course not. So then they hop into the entry plug together, and we get a couple of fun little beats that I like. Specifically, the you need to think in German.
Yeah, that was really interesting. And
Mhm.
that she could just reset the native language was also interesting.
Well, I mean, it's just switching what the operating system's language is, and if she can speak both of them and think in both of them, why not? It also does mean
At
that
this
she's
point, we know nothing of the operating system. I found that to be interesting.
yeah.
That's
It's
the fun part.
complicated. It's
Which is
oh
why
boy.
you just flippantly being like, well, no shit, they could change the languages. Like, I don't find that to be a satisfying answer at all.
It's futuristic.
So Josh, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna see if you agree with me. I don't think you can do that with every Ava. I don't think every Ava can do that. Do you?
I don't know. We don't really see it done.
Well, based off of how these things work, think about it. And based
Yeah.
off of like this Ava versus Unit 1, I don't think Unit 1 can flip between languages. I think Unit 1 has to be Japanese. I think this one can work in Japanese, German, and maybe English. I don't know for sure about that one. Because the thing that I'm thinking about this one versus the Unit 1, I think that this one can work in multiple languages.
Is it because of the thing that I think you're thinking of?
Yes, I want to say that.
If we're going by that logic, that we can't say because of Alex,
He'll figure it out
I
later.
oh yeah, it comes up soon. I would agree with that logic.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking at least. I think this one can work in multiple languages. I don't think the others can.
I'm just gonna take my lunch break.
Yep. No, sorry, Alex. It's just each one of these is built in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
And I think this one should be able to work in multiple languages while the others don't.
And we'll bring that back
For
up
reasons
later
undefined.
on.
You'll
Reason
figure it out.
undefined.
Define it.
I think
Reason undefined.
you'll figure it out later. Like
Yeah, we'll
we're
bring it
not
back up.
we're not crazy far away from that. We're a little ways out on that one still, but we're not crazy far away. Yeah, so then they switch to Japanese, and now they're going to go attack the Angel and destroy so much military property.
Yeah, just fuck with that kid though.
God, I love
But
the
to
way.
be fair,
Mm.
Be fair.
they stole or Godzilla versus Kong stole this exact scene.
I still have not actually watched it, but that wouldn't surprise me.
There's legit a
It's
scene
pretty-
where Kong is just jumping ship
It
to
is pretty
ship.
close, yeah.
I mean, this is
And
a
does
super influential show.
no damage to the ships compared to this.
I believe
Yeah,
that.
no, this got gratuitous.
Godzilla
yeah.
is able to jump up onto a battle carrier without tipping it over.
Also, I'm just gonna say this. I love the way like it jumps onto the one ship and it's got like the cloak around it still. It looks so cool in that moment.
Yeah, it does. Also,
It's very clearly a flare choice, and I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah, well that's
can
Oscar
probably-
to a T.
see the horns making it look a little cooler, but I like the original paint job better.
See, I like more splashes of white just so it breaks up the colors a little bit.
I don't know. I kind of like how it's just the red and the orange.
I mean, that's fair, and I get that. I just think that like having a little more that neutral white on all of the Avas I think works, especially on the unit 0, so it's not just a solid yellow. Like each one of them gets some white splashes on it, and I think especially for the 0, it looks way better with the white in it.
Yeah, 0 looks good with the white. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I get where you're saying. Like, I don't think it does.
I think adding too many colors when there are certain colors just clashes too much.
That's fair. I think white again, it's such a neutral color though. It works with all of them. But I get what you're saying. Like, I don't think that this is a bad color scheme. I just like the extra little splashes of white on the rebuild one because I feel like the torso is just so red.
Ugh. But I took a lot of color theory in college, so
That's fair. You're acting like I didn't. I took
I
graphic design too. I get that.
no. I meant like just because like I had to do a lot of it, so I like the simpler tones to it.
hmm Again, I don't think it's bad. I just like having a little bit more white in the torso to break up that solid chunk of red. Anyway, though, we're getting to in the nitty gritty of design at this point. So our Ava jumps around. It's on a limited battery, and part of this episode is them trying to get it hooked up to the umbilical cord. Which have we talked about that it's called an umbilical cord?
No,
But that's a pretty common
Oh,
naming
well.
scheme as well for something like
but
that.
it's the dog that we keep hearing about, but we've never seen.
Yeah, it's the other dog.
It's the pupper.
Yeah. So
Also, the umbilical cord is just
anyway, they managed to plug in so they're not running out of battery, and like, okay, well, how do we fight this thing? I got a fucking box cutter. Which the way that thing's built,
Attack
it's
on
just a
Titan.
box cutter.
It is.
Attack on Titan.
hmm
Stole it from Neon Genesis.
Yep.
Calling to hear you out, you fucking nerds.
So,
Fucking show.
I also love that this angel attacks and immediately Asuka drops the knife. It just slices.
0 second.
Yep.
It took 0 second.
Well, again, you have to remember, like, she's talking like herself up and she's hyping up how great she is, but she has 0 combat experience. So of course she gets like her first attempt at fighting this thing. She drops the knife. She doesn't have any other weapons, and like this kind of it goes well, but there's all these little moments that highlight that Asuka is not better at this than Shinji, even though she keeps trying to say she is.
She just wants to impress her boyfriend.
Again, Asuka's entire character right now is I need other people to think I'm awesome. She is a teenage girl that has that teenage problem of everyone else needs to think I'm cool because I'm not sure I'm cool.
So much insecurity.
Oh, yeah, again, that's like this show's all about teenagers being teenagers, just also being jammed inside of robots.
Yeah. Who doesn't want you jammed in a
that old
robot?
chestnut.
Yep. I mean, here's the thing, that is an old chestnut. They've been doing that in anime since the 70s.
Because only the soul of a child can run a robot.
Yeah. I mean, that's also a thing in anime since the 70s. Yeah. While they're so anyway, they manage to get dragged into the ocean, and the angel is like jerking them around. The umbilical
Okay.
cord eventually reaches its end and disconnects.
Man,
And
I love this whole fishing section.
oh, it's fun, yeah. And then Saji gets in
That looks so
a jet
painful.
and flies off.
And a clearly not hoverable jet that hovers.
Yep.
I mean, it did look very close to the Harrier.
I don't know. Is it?
Pretty sure it had downward facing VTOL capabilities. Why are you
I don't think
nitpicking
it
about this
did.
one thing?
hmm
That's the one thing that's not logical in this show.
Have you ever seen the Harrier? It looks very similar to that.
No, it doesn't. It's not
But yeah.
even close.
I also love that, like,
You're wrong.
I love that Asuka, again, like, highlighting that Asuka's,
I can't do the impression.
like, talks a big game, but doesn't have anything to back it up with. She freaks out that they can't move around in the water, and Shinji's like, well, yeah, we're in the B type. Like, B type armor, the B type loadout can't go underwater. We don't have the capabilities for that and what we're decked out with right now, of course.
Yeah.
Because Shinji has done this a lot, and he knows what each armor and weapon set can do.
Yeah, because his
Gonna say,
dad
yeah.
beat him in the head with it.
Oh yeah, no, he had to know this shit. So anyway, then it comes in to eat them, and we see its core in the mouth,
Nom, 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 nom.
which is kind of a big fucking problem. If in order to kill your enemy, you have to expose your one weak point.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty good design for a throwaway monster.
oh yeah. Yeah, this is again, this is actually one of the angels I do remember pretty clearly compared to some of the other ones,
Yeah.
but I've never really been blown away by it. It's just like this one in one way or another ends up in everything, maybe only in a like flashback, but does. But it's not a great one.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Fair enough.
they decide that they're going to abandon ships and fucking what is it? Crash them into each other.
No, they submerge them, bow down,
Yeah.
which I have no idea how that's possible. And just drive them straight into its mouth at speed.
Yep.
There's
What?
nothing wrong with this logic.
This is the nitpick that you should have chosen.
What? No. Oh, no, it's the jet. It's clearly the jet.
Yep.
I don't
Well,
even
also,
know. Is it
This
would
makes
it be
sense.
possible to submerge them?
see,
Yeah.
my biggest nitpick on this one is that
Titanic went down.
they're able to fish the angel back up using the umbilical cord, even though the umbilical is a detachable thing.
Yeah, but it never throughout this entire battle detached from the Ava.
Yeah.
Until the explosion.
Yeah.
So like I think they're doing what they want. Like it actually benefits them to have the fish on the line as opposed to disconnecting, you know.
Again, I just think it's
If they
kind of
disconnect, they drown. So I mean,
again, my nitpick is how is this thing sticking on? That's my only nitpick on this one. Well, that and obviously the fact that they're sending ships down to
got one hell of a latch. Like
Yep.
I was shocked and kind of horrified to see that it didn't break when they went to the end.
Mhm.
And it suddenly you went from full speed to sudden utter stop. Like
Yep.
how did that not rip out of the back of the Ava?
They use powerful
Or
magnets.
rip off the hull.
Mhm.
Like, damn.
Oh yeah.
That looked so painful.
Told you, it's the power of magnets.
How do those work?
I do magnets.
Yeah, so they manage to kill the angel and then they jump onto the carrier and immediately power down.
Gotta make it to the finish line. No
Yeah,
further.
that's all they needed to do. And then they make fun of Shinji for wearing a girl's outfit.
Specifically, it's because it's a matching outfit is the reason in the dub.
Yeah. And it's gonna make them feel funny.
Yep. Yeah, and then we cut to Saji meeting up with Gendo because now our two most problematic men have to.
Of course, they're scheming in tandem. Fuckers.
Now they're best buddies.
Yep. And they say that this is the key to human instrumentality.
Oh my god, they're gonna play him like a drum?
Yeah. No, they're going to clearly use it as a trumpet. They're going to pull it
Ooh,
out of its
that's a
encasement.
that works on another level because of everything that's going on too.
Mhm.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you meant it, but that works.
Yep. Anyway, episode ends with Asuka is now going to their school. So we had a few different things thrown around. Alex, obviously you're a little bit ahead of this in your own watching.
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you think?
Finally.
What do you think the whole scene between Gendo and Saji means, other than two dirtbag men being dirtbags together?
I think they're doing like some like human genome project or some shit, you know,
Okay.
like research into the. Well, he claims it's the first human. This is Adam. So is it? I feel like he's absolutely going to try to play God in some way.
Okay. Yeah.
Do I know what he's trying to do? Like the instrumentality bit of that title kind of reminds me of like transhumanism
Okay.
and like augmenting oneself with like modifications like cyberpunk-esque, or it could be the inverse of like oh, what is it in like Mass Effect, where they have to collect a certain number of the species in order to create the larger one.
Mhm.
There's large things that seem to be very humanoid and actually quite organic underneath all of it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Those are my thoughts though.
Okay. That's
It's as
fair.
good as I got.
You have some good ideas going into that. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
We'll see.
I'm not gonna say if you're right or not, but like, there's not like there's definitely like some kernels in there that I appreciate. Yeah.
Nice to be appreciated.
Anyway, we're gonna call this one. Tune in next time where we talk about episode 9 of Evangelion.
Um,
The dance episode.
Dance Dance Revolution, bitches.
Yeah. Bye bye.